No more walking downstairs for me, using my legs.
Rely like a sucker.
What is that?
Like a chump.
Right? The amount of times I went downstairs into the garage to go grab a Diet Coke, like I was exercising way too much.
You don't get that back.
I get myself.
All right. Go to the bat signal.
Actual light.
Who we got? Anybody here yet? Oh, Julie Kraft is first.
Oh, you win this week.
You win. Let's check this dealio here. It's on the site. Work right there. Share it on the things.
Ooh, there's lots of people.
Look at all the peeps. Tokyo, Rick, Matt, Todd, Elizabeth. Boom, boom. Share. Tesla Rock. Right. Let's bring our faces up. Let's get that dog.
Yellow. That's funny. What kind of dog is that? It's cute.
Yellow.
A yellow dog.
A yellow dog.
She's a fiery fox.
I like it. Wow, she just lets you manhandle her.
Oh yeah, she doesn't give a shit.
That's funny.
Sport the tail.
I like it.
All right.
Does she shed a lot?
Oh yeah, I'm already
She
covered.
shed? She shed? Or down my she shed.
Oh, Dave, you're quiet again. There you go.
How's that? Weird. Must be this. Some weird static electricity in the system. She shed. Does she shed? Burn down a she shed?
Down by the seashore.
By the seashore. She sells, she sheds.
Do y'all know the
Alright.
what is it? The I'm a Little Lad commercial
Skittles?
of the berries and cream.
Oh,
no,
okay,
it's
yeah.
Starburst. It's
Starburst, that's right, yeah.
Yeah. I showed it to my kid this weekend. Oh man, he's been doing the little lad dance.
It's my favorite, man. I'm a young lad who likes berries and cream.
No, it's not a crimp in the mic cord. It's just sometimes it goes like that, and all I have to do is touch anything metal on this desk, and it comes back. It's the weirdest thing. I've got a little hum in the system I gotta fix too, in my spare time. But all right, I think we're ready to go. I'm gonna go ahead and hit record. I am rolling that beautiful bean footage.
It looks
Rolling.
a little orange. I should change my webcam settings again.
Got,
like the
got your
800th
Trump filter
time.
on? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
All right, that's good. I got my notes. Totes my notes.
How's that? Let's see how that is.
Okay. If everybody's running and would like to do the clap, here we go. Ready
Let's do it.
for sync? It'll be 1, 2, 3, clap. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. That low latency because it's Austin.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Is that real?
Right? Yeah.
Technically.
Brian's last week was like right on.
Nice.
Soul clap. I'm sorry, are we boring you already?
You're keeping me up.
All right, everybody ready to go? I feel like I'm forgetting
Let's go.
something. I don't know
Let's do
why,
this.
but hey, we're live, so you know, people are responding. I guess we're out there. All right, here we go. What's up, and welcome to another Mograph Mocast. I'm Dave.
And I'm Matt, and joining us today is our good friend, Penelope Nederlander.
Hi, y'all.
And Mograph is a supplement to our site, mograph.com, which is a motion graphics tutorial site with tutorials, plugins, podcasts, and other Mograph stuff. And on the show, we talk about everything ranging from motion graphics to Cinema 4D, After Effects, plugins, render engines, doing business, doing taxes, being a contractor, or working for the man. You can email us info@mograph.com. Let us know what you think about the show. Questions, comments, concerns, queries, grievances, and I don't know what else. But
You kind of stumbled on that one a bit.
I had a little thing of a little chunk of a peanut left in my throat
Oh,
because I
okay.
ate a power bar thingy.
Mm.
So I was choking. I was trying not to cough in your ears, in your ear holes.
I was over here dying, and y'all
Yes.
just let it happen.
Took one for the team. So
yeah. The show must go on.
speaking of emails, I do have an email from Graham Bucknell. Hope I pronounced that right. I believe I did. That says, "Hi Matt and Dave. Hope you are both all
Oh,
good. Love the show."
weird.
What?
Thanks.
Oh.
No, I'm answering.
Oh,
now.
I see. Yeah. No, love the show. As you know, it
Thanks.
keeps me company while working from home. I'm wondering if you could give a shout
I didn't
out
know that.
to this event in the UK. This is called Glug. I guess that's how you say it. Glug Guildford. I'll have a link in the show notes.
Glug event.
glugevents.com. And
Welcome to
he says,
Glug.
I'll be on the Q&A panel answering all questions freelance, agency, partner, motion related. I'd like to piggyback on the back of this opportunity to build a creative meetup. Cool.
It's only what is that?
So-
£9.50. £9.50 per person. Doors open at 7, from 7 to 10. March 5th.
March
is that what it
5th.
said?
Yeah, I think March
Yeah.
5th. And so that's that's not long from now.
No, that's not too far.
This year is flying. It is flying. I'll put
I
all the
know.
links to that show notes and on the events page as well. I would like to just go over a few things for the week wrap up. Speaking of everything moving so fast, it's a month out right now to DFW C4D and the ABC DFW C4D event, but I feel like it's tomorrow. I'm like freaking out.
It's because you're booked
Crazy
till
list.
every day till
Oh yeah,
then.
absolutely.
I'm not.
Yeah.
See, I
yeah.
feel like it's forever away.
It is not forever away. It's going to be a lot of fun. I would like to say that you need to come down to Dallas and check this out because, first of all, on Sunday night, the 22nd, we're going to be over at Barton's new studio for his grand opening, and it's going to be
It looks
super
so
killer.
good.
It's looking so good over there. There's going to be a live DJ. We're going to have. There's going to be. What is there? Are there going to be food trucks? Is that a thing
I don't
now?
know. There's going to be a lot of people, though.
Yeah.
It's going to be fun.
Like-
It's going to be a heck of a party.
I think the police department's involved now in like, as far as like knowing what
That normally
this
happens
event's
afterwards.
going on. Like it's going to be, yeah, it's going to be off the chain. And then the next day we're going to be having DFW C4D with EJ presenting and David Rodur presenting. And this just in.
It's just in.
The last thing that we're going to do that night is have a Q&A with Nick Campbell from Grayscale Gorilla.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. We should celebrate that here. Can I turn this thing? There we go.
Oh,
Celebrate
nice.
Nick from Grayscale.
Yeah.
So a lot of people are coming in to hang out. They're coming in early. So Nick and Chad will both be there. Also, Mr. Plow is coming now.
Yay!
The name again is Mr. Plow.
Yes. All right.
And then-
I thought you were setting me up, but no, you're going for
Oh,
it.
well. And then also, I believe we're trying to work this out. I think Jules Urbach is going to be there as well.
It's gonna be fun.
It is going to be insane. Insane. So if you can come down, grab a cheap flight to Dallas, get on Southwest, figure it out, come for 2 days of fun. I'm really excited. Really, really, really
Penny's probably
excited.
gonna be there too.
Yeah,
So that's the whole.
that's true. Right?
Right.
Right? You coming, Penny? You
Yeah, we're
coming?
putting you on the spot.
You coming up to Dallas?
I zoned out for a second. I'm gonna try. Being on a Monday, I just never know.
Well,
yeah, but you work for yourself.
yeah.
Come on.
Well, yeah, but when I work for myself, I work for other people.
Tell your
True.
boss.
101.
Tell your
Boss. Hey, I deserve a
dog behind
personal
you,
day. Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go to Dallas.
I mean, he doesn't
It's a
seem to
no-go,
care.
guys.
He doesn't seem to
Aw,
care.
man. Boss is such a dick.
Yeah, she just farted on me. It's
That's your answer. Yeah.
that's the answer.
So, Matt, any Camp Mograph updates?
Yes.
Okay.
We do have Camp Mograph
Yes.
updates. We have added a few more sponsors to the Camp Mograph lineup, and we are super excited to have them on board. Keep in mind, as I say every week, these sponsors are the ones who are helping keep the camp tickets as cheap as they are. You will not find any place, you go on vacation to like a resort, an all-you-can-eat resort and stuff like that, and you're not gonna find a cheaper price than this. Like it won't be cheaper. Our prices are cheaper, and the only reason is because we've got so many great sponsors who are helping us out with this event. So take your time and go thank all the sponsors. If you pick up a ticket and you have a really good time, make sure and thank the sponsors.
Yeah.
First up, we've added another gold sponsor, Grayscale Gorilla. You all know them. You all love them. They're the best. Grayscale Gorilla. I'm wearing my GSG shirt right now.
Can't see it on the camera.
Yeah, because it's black on black. But oh, Dave, your picture finally showed up on the on Skype that you've been trying to send for an hour.
Oh, really? Oh, that's weird.
So yeah, we're super excited to have Nick and Chad and the whole team on board. So you know, you might see one of the GSG people there. I don't know. Who knows? We got to talk to them, see if one of them's gonna make their way out. So that's gonna be fun. Big thanks to Grayscale Gorilla. Also, as a bronze sponsor, School of Motion, again, for their second year. We're super excited to have them back. Fantastic crew over there, and they are just doing so much stuff, so many classes, and they're growing like crazy. So we're super excited to have School of Motion. If you want to check out all of our sponsors, I'm going to go through the rest of them here in a second, but check out campmograph.com. You can see all of our sponsors. Click on each of them. You know them all. You love them all. Make sure and just give them a shout out. But our village sponsors, of course, Maxon, makers of Cinema 4D, Video Copilot, Andrew Kramer and family over there. We love them. And Otoy, the makers of Octane Render. Also, our other gold sponsor, Minimal Massive, the local studio over in Portland. We're super excited to have them on board. And our other bronze sponsor, AE Scripts, AE Plugins. We love Lloyd. Lloyd's great. And we love all the stuff that they are doing over there. So, yes, check out campmograph.com for more information about tickets and stuff. Tickets go on sale $4.20.
Blaze it.
Blaze it. Yeah. That was yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be a lot of fun, and tickets are going to sell fast, so make sure you set your timers and get on that subscribe list so that you can get some emails.
Camp Mograph.
Yep. It's more of a retreat. Pew, pew, pew. Pow, pow, pow. There it is.
I got to turn it up. It's not very. There we go.
Yeah.
That's much better. Oh, I don't know why that sound never gets old. It's always funny to me.
Yeah. Rick Bogus is coming to Camp Mograph.
Rick Bogus. Oh man.
Yep.
Oh man.
It's gonna be a lot of fun. I'm so super excited about this one.
Yeah.
I'm excited too, and we may like do some prizes for people who can actually make it all the way up to the top of the wall. You know.
Oh yeah.
Because all these people are saying, you know, they're like, oh yeah, I could
could climb that. You got to practice.
I could climb that. That's no problem.
Oh, that'd be
It's
awesome.
like a 3-story wall, climbing wall. You know, and sure you have an assist and stuff like that, but I had to climb to the top of a wind turbine one time. You know, one of like the of the wind farms of the wind turbine, and it's just a straight ladder all the way up. right? And so I had to do that. I even had an assist, and it was the hardest thing I've ever done in my life.
Couldn't pay me.
So people who say that it's gonna be no problem,
So we should have a prize for the fastest time to the top.
Yeah.
Like something good. Like we should ask sponsor if they'll give away like a year subscription to something, or
right.
That'd be like, come on, you're climbing for that subscription.
Yeah.
Got to earn that octane, something like that. I don't know. Yeah.
Right. Or maybe we do a special. Oh no, here it is, a special patch that says "I climbed the wall," or something like that.
Oh man. Julie is asking.
Don't wear it to like a Trump campaign or something like that. They'll be like, what'd you do? No.
Julie Kraft is asking what you did. You were shooting a video, right?
What you did? What?
On top of the wind turbine.
I was shooting a video. So like, we were shooting like a training video or something. It was way back in the day, and I went up like. So I had to climb all the way to the top of it, and it's just straight, and it's scary. And you get up there, and you can fit like 12 people up there. It's crazy, And so like, and if you've ever been to like the top of the St. Louis Arch or whatever, like you can feel it swaying back and forth. That's the same way with these wind turbines. You can feel the entire thing. And so we were doing a video about like. What to do in an emergency.
God.
Like to where people would actually rappel out of.
So now you're thinking about it the whole time because you're just talking about emergencies the whole time you're up there. Ugh.
Right. Yeah. And so like there's two latches in a wind turbine. One of them on the floor, so you can lift up this latch and like rappel down, and then one also on the roof. So either way, you just like latch on and like slowly rappel all the way down. It was terrifying being up there, and then because I had to shoot like from the thing in the floor, down as someone was rappelling down. So I'm hanging over the side of this open, flooring. It was very scary. You can probably find it on YouTube.
Julie says my palms are sweating already.
Yeah.
Mom spaghetti. Liam says that we should get Mount Mograph to sponsor the mountain. I think that's a great idea. The Mount Mograph mountain climb.
Yeah.
Yeah. The winner gets Mount Mograph something.
I don't know if Mount Mograph sells it.
Do they sell things?
I
think they
Mount
do.
Mograph I don't think he's around anymore.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I know he was around for a while, but like I don't
Julie
think
says,
he's done it.
I'm gonna head out. The SpongeBob meme. Time to climb. I'm gonna head out. Okay. Other things for this week. First of all, a week from tomorrow, we will have a premiere of another 3D Motion Tour event from San Francisco. That'll be cool. That one's edited and ready to go. I pushed that to next week because tomorrow at noon is going to be the live premiere of Penny's presentation from DFWC 4D.
Woot. It was a good presentation.
It's a good presentation.
That was one of my favorite DFWC 4Ds. It was you and Mark Fancher, and y'all just killed it. Like
and Chad as well.
Enthralled.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, and Chad too.
That was a great one.
Everyone was enthralled with like everything. I was so impressed that everyone just sat around until the end because everyone was talking such like intense topics and stuff.
Yeah.
Mark's was awesome.
Mark's was awesome.
It was really cool. Yeah.
I wish I wasn't afraid of Houdini then, when I was watching his talk. We need to have him come back so that I can finally understand some of the stuff he talks about.
So
it's all just magic.
I posted that. I cut out the PC issues. There was a couple PC issues during the event. Cut those out. Everything's good. All flows now. It's really cool because you've got this robot face, and you're doing the nulls and stuff in cinema, and then bringing them back into After Effects using like all these expressions and everything. It's really cool. It's almost like an auto update type system, which is really, really sweet.
Very good.
I did nothing with it. after
No.
that. I had all these grand plans of using it on this project, and then it never happened.
Hey,
But
you know what?
this
In
is
theory, it's
super
still,
fun.
it's still a good, it's a good concept. It's a good workflow, like I'm sure you're going to use it on something else eventually, right? I mean, you
For me,
never
it
know.
taught me what the limitations are and like whatever the opposite word of limitations are for working between the two with Cineware. Because I did learn that like, oh, things don't stay parented, so it's all like relative or absolute.
Yeah.
It was a good learning experience for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love to see more of that Cinema 4D integration into After Effects like that. The more the better.
If you could have user data pipe through
Oh man.
to like
Yeah.
sliders
Ooh.
or something like
That's what I was
that.
gonna say, sliders, man, that'd be killer.
Yeah.
See, we need to write that app. We write that
Yeah.
app, and then we're millionaires.
Yeah.
Okay, don't tell anyone
Somehow.
though, because we need to develop.
Yeah,
it.
don't-
No one take that idea.
Don't.
That's copyright.
Yeah.
Mograph.com.
Can you copyright an idea?
Yeah.
I don't think you can.
You heard it right here.
I don't think you
maybe.
can. All right, so we got those 2 videos coming up. Make sure you check those out. We got a whole bunch more content that's going to be released. All the other 3D Motion Tour videos are going to be coming out subsequently as well. I would also like to note that I've been enjoying Picard. I don't know if the two
Talk
of
about
you watched. Look, Maxon said, great idea. Look at that.
Oh.
Come on.
See that?
Come on with it. I'm not sure who that is.
Max
I don't.
Actual Max, I'm pretty sure that's.
Is it Kevin?
Pretty sure that's Kevin.
Is it Max on Rick?
Maybe Rick was listening and he's like, "Oh, that is a great idea."
The
Maybe
Max
he put
on
a
Rick
winky
request
face.
line.
That must mean something.
Yeah. Looking way too far into it.
I'm
No,
not saying it's aliens, but aliens.
No,
You're like-
I'm reading it as great idea.
Yeah. Sarcasm.
Yeah, okay.
Winky.
You're reading the sarcasm.
Yeah.
See, I'm looking at it as
maybe I'm just a little too positive here.
no. See, I'm looking at Winky Face like we already did that, and it's going to be implemented tomorrow.
Right, exactly.
We
See,
did
that's
it
what I'm
as you were
saying,
asking
too.
for it.
Yeah. I was coding it as you asked.
Right. I mean,
How many bucks was it? How many development bucks?
I don't know.
and it's
At
no,
least 3,000 Reddit karma.
it's not the Baron request line anymore. By the way,
No, it's not. It's the Rick request
it needs to
line.
be the Max on Rick request line. Just saying.
Or it could just be the Max on request line.
A Max on Rick. All right. So Picard. Back to Picard.
Back to Picard.
Are either one of you watching
No spoilers.
Picard?
Don't give any spoilers. No. Here's the thing. I don't watch TV in real time. I hate it.
I don't watch
I
TV
hate
in
TV
real
in real
time.
time. I hate TV in real time. Like
I think some shows are better for it though. You know what I mean? Like if you watch older shows before they had binging,
Mhm.
there's so much repetitive information that like when you watch it, when you
That's
binge
true.
it, you're like, oh my god, I know.
Right.
Or they'll do the scene where they show it differently and they like record different versions of it. Lost did this all the time. Like, wait a minute, but I thought he did this thing, and then like the next season or next episode, they show it differently. Like I remember I just saw this.
Yeah.
I'm reading
that's not-
Liam.
That's not funny, Liam.
He's like, I'm really surprised they called it Picard since he dies in the first episode. You know what's really funny? Do you remember that I accidentally gave away the ending to what Marvel movie was that?
Endgame?
It was Endgame.
No, it was
No,
Was it Infinity War?
I thought it was
That
I think it
everyone
was
dies,
Endgame.
right?
Yeah, and I'm like, I can't believe
Infinity
everyone
War,
dies,
yeah.
and I was just joking, but it was, you know,
I mean, but that's like the go-to joke, right? Everyone dies. you
right.
know?
I always say that.
But sometimes it's true.
I always say I can't
Sometimes
believe everyone
does
dies. No, okay. Here's the thing about Picard. I'm going to give everybody 20 seconds. It's not really a spoiler. It's not a spoiler, but if you don't want to hear it, just skip.
It's a bad start.
I'm going to do
Yeah.
20 seconds, so skip ahead 30
Okay.
seconds. I'm going to look at I should bring up my clock, and I just wanted to
Yeah,
say
you should.
one thing
And
about
just
it.
Start waving
I'll tell
your
you
hand
when.
whenever you're done, because I'm gonna take
Okay,
off
I'll
my
wave my
headphones.
heads. Starting now. This is him going around, kind of like on Rick and Morty, to like fulfill a mission to go on a quest, and he's picking up these different people, and then on the way, on each one, he's like asking them to come with him, and they're like, "You son of a bitch, I'm in," and then The one thing I don't like is what it's doing with the Federation and the story of what happens to them. Now, that's all the time I have, so I can't really go on. So, yeah, so I'm enjoying the show. And that's about it. I'm past my 30-second mark. I can't talk any further on that. Oh, I didn't wave my hands for Matt.
Oh.
Sorry.
I'm over here waiting for the hand waves.
That's funny. No, I stopped a long time ago. We just see how long you can go without putting your headphones back on.
I mean, I can put them down and go the rest of the show. You can do this yourself if you want.
Your skills are required for a job.
What is this?
You son of a bitch, I'm in. All right. So, guess what? We haven't done this in a while. Let's go to some Ravcock. What's your flavor?
What's your flavor?
I was scared you were going to forget.
No. Come on, dude. We got things we say and do. You know, 10 years from now, when we're not
Still
doing
gonna
this
do it.
podcast anymore, someone comes up to me and says, hey, what's your flavor? I'll go, what's your flavor?
Right.
And they'll be like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, so let's talk about just a couple articles or a couple links that I have here anyway, that I put into this section because we haven't done this section in so long. I feel like we're neglecting it. There hasn't been any like super major news on any of the render fronts, I don't think, for a while.
No, not really.
No, I would like to
Not
say
really.
though, if you want to like get into more render stuff, we're going to be doing the March 5th. Is that a Thursday? March 5th, the same day as that meetup in the UK, right?
I was going to say, unless you're going to the Glug meetup.
Thursday, March 5th, 8 p.m. Get on the late night render
Central
stream,
time, right?
Central Time. Get on the late night render stream, and we're going to have a little panel going with the two of us and David Ariev, Billy Chitkin, Raphael Rao,
Ashley.
and Chad Ashley.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we're going to be
a good
talking
one.
all the render engines and things. That'll
Do I
be
need
fun.
to be on that one?
You don't have to be. It would
I
actually
was
be
gonna- I was
easier for
gonna
me
play
if you
the
weren't.
V-Ray part, right? Okay, yeah. No, if
Yeah.
it's easier for you, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
I'll back out.
Yeah.
I will respectfully back out
Okay.
so that you can have more of a chance for people.
Okay, because I have to use that mega
Because it makes you
meetup show, the one we did for the mega
Uh-huh.
show, and I've got to
Yeah.
be like down on the bottom anyway because there's just not enough room. So I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to So this is good. That's gonna be tough. So and I don't know honestly how much Skype can really handle as far as
Yeah.
like bandwidth, and it's late at night. So if you got to take care of the baby, I understand. All right.
Yeah.
So these two
Yeah, that's what
links,
it-
there is one of them is this insanely good-looking power cord, and this is one of the best examples of making something look not rendered that I think I've ever seen. And it's so funny because it's just a power cable, it's just a power plug that somebody did, and they put it on the let's see, I got the link somewhere in here. They put it on the Octane Facebook group, so I'll put a link to this in the show notes. But this
Are you gonna bring it up?
is I'm looking for the link. Do. Oh, I put it in. It's in Ravcock. That's right. All right. So Tom Glimpse actually, I believe, posted it, but it's something that somebody else made, and I'm sorry, but I cannot even pronounce their name, so I'm not going to try. I'm going to bring it up on the screen
Aw.
here. Check this out. So
Oh yeah, I saw this the
this
other day.
like it's a plug, right?
Yeah.
That's it, right? I'm
Yep.
gonna introduce you to the plug. Some people will get that reference. All right, but look at like the little fuzzies and the little dots of dust here, and like the wear. Like this is really, really detailed for a plug, and I don't know what it's gonna be
Right.
used for, but I mean, all the little crevices and the different pieces of the wear and tear, and just it's the imperfections that make a render realistic, right? But like this is just one of the best examples. I mean, I was actually doubting it. I was like, "Are you sure
Right.
this
I
is
was
CG?"
too up until you showed this picture.
Right. And then I saw this picture here. I mean, yeah.
Three materials? That's all?
Well, I think it's
I guess.
because it's done like in substance, probably or something like that. I didn't
Right,
look and see what it was, but Yeah, Substance Painter.
Cool.
See, so people are using Substance Painter. Now, speaking of which, Ryan Talbot decided to take a go at something in Redshift this week and do some Substance Painter stuff. And remember that...
That's what he was posting. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And here we go. This is... so the links to this, will, of course, will be in the show notes. But this is a UV unwrap deal that he tried that he did with what's the name of that UV tool we were talking about? I think he writes what it is on here. I could probably just read it, right? The UV toolkit. Remember? We were talking about that a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So he's been experimenting with that. You know, it's something I really want to try because it seems like it makes it a lot easier to paint stuff like this and really like get super detailed with what you're working with. So
Love the scratches. The scratches are great.
and then there's what's her name on it? What's her name?
I don't know. Who it is.
Billie Eyelash.
Billie Eilish. Billie Eyelash.
Billie Eyelash.
Fix it in
Yeah.
Post Malone.
Either that. Wait.
There it is.
There you go. It's either that or maybe it's the woman from Parks and Rec. I don't know.
Aubrey
No,
Plaza? No,
Yeah.
I don't think that's Audrey.
that looks like
Plaza.
Billie Eilish.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, I thought those were both good. It's cool because it's like an octane and a Redshift example for the day. So I thought that would be good. So
There you go.
let's get to the topics, though. Let's get to the topics of the day. Let's talk
What are our
about Penny.
topics today?
Well, the first thing we wanted to do is talk about these credits for
Yeah.
Birds of
In
Prey.
credits, though.
Them end credits, though.
Birds of Prey, the fantabulous emancipation of one Harley Quinn.
Are there any public versions of this online to see yet
Oh, that's a
that I could bring
better
up?
question than I have answers for. I have it on my Vimeo, if you
Okay.
know the link.
Okay. I just wasn't sure
me
if
see
it
if
was able to be public
Oh,
yet or
Yeah, no. Go to shinestudio.com.
shinestudio.com. All right. Shinestudio.com. I don't know. I guess I'm going to mute this just in case.
Where is Shine located?
Shine is located in Midtown Los Angeles.
Is
Okay.
there a particular place you can they did the Modern Family intro?
Oh god, they've done so many intros.
Oh, okay. So does it actually show the video or is it just like blurbs of it right now?
If you go to projects,
Yeah,
you'll
yeah.
see it in the upper left, and if you click it, wherever like that Birds of Prey with the little triangle
Yeah, hit
next
the
to
play
it,
button.
Cool.
the play button, yeah,
Sorry.
the triangle.
Ah,
Click the triangle.
all right. I'm going to keep this muted, but let's talk about this. Let's talk about your involvement in this.
Okay,
It's first off, it's awesome.
Yes.
It's really good.
thank you. I'm bummed that Amanda couldn't make it today. I tried
Yeah.
to get Amanda to come and join us. She was the other animator. Well, there was three of us.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna back it up. So I've been working for Shine for like, I think we figured out it was like 14 or 15 years on and off.
Wow.
So I mean, I've done, if you look in their work, I've probably worked on like a third to a half of their stuff that they have posted on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, they're the sweetest guys. It's Michael Riley and Bob Swenson are the principals, and it's a three-person shop. They'll often have someone there, young. I can't remember his last name right now. I'm terrible. Bad friend. He's been working there for 5 years, and he did a lot of the graphics in the movie. So like when it introduced characters and had the graphics pop up.
Mm-hmm.
But like, Michael really wanted to try something different when he got the opportunity to pitch on this. And so he was really getting into, he bought an iPad Pro and was like, teaching himself Procreate, and he's, been an artist forever. And he just was like, well, I mean, what are the chances we're going to get a superhero movie? So let's just, aim for something we want to do.
Mm-hmm.
And they liked it. They were into it. And we just happened to be chatting, and he was showing me some of his sketches that he was doing in Procreate. And I was like, oh, yeah, I use that too. And so I showed him some of the stuff that I was, doing on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, oh, my God, do you want to work on a credit sequence? I forgot you drew. And I was like, oh, my God, yes. Can you come out to LA for 2 months? And I'm like, oh, my God.
Oh, is that what you were doing out there?
Yeah.
Awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah, so I threw my, computer, all of my kit, my Cintiq and monitors and all that in my car, and I just, drove out.
Oh, you drove out there. Wow.
Yeah, well, I mean, the thing is that like I needed to bring my Cintiq,
Right.
and I'm not flying with that thing. That thing with the ergo stand is like 70 pounds.
Yeah.
Oh,
no.
wow.
It's so heavy. So yeah, so he asked me to be the lead animator. I did some tests from here to kind of like try to figure out what the workflow was going to be, and two of those early shots made it in, which was really pretty neat. Like just motion tests. And I brought on Amanda, who I worked with at Rooster Teeth. She was a compositor, assistant lead compositor there on Genlock, and she worked with me on Ruby. And then we brought in our other former coworker, Mike Chapman, Myke Chapman, who is a cell animator. He worked on Archer and a bunch of stuff, and his sort of focus is like liquid and fire elemental cell stuff, which is super cool. Like at Rooster Teeth, we had him like doing anime explosions and beams and stuff like that. So like Michael was doing boards on his iPad in Procreate, sending them off to the client to get approval on like general look, and then Amanda and I were drawing the all the elements with Mike giving us some of the more like all the hair that's kind of waving around and stuff like that. That's all him. And then we put it together in After Effects and Cinema. I did some cell stuff in Photoshop in, what's that thing called? Animator's Pro Toolkit or whatever it's called.
Oh.
You ever seen that?
I know.
It's a really cool plugin.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
It's it's an extension to Photoshop that lets you have a timeline, and it breaks out as layers.
Oh, cool.
So that you can like, import I guess like a movie file, and it like strings it out if you need a guide, and then you can like just frame through and draw.
Okay. Yeah. It's built into Photoshop though, isn't there? Isn't it?
No, it's an extension you have to download from there.
Oh, okay.
Oh, because I brought some
That's
stuff
neat,
in
though.
before, like videos and clips and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it gives me a timeline.
Yeah.
Oh, well, maybe this is like for onion skinning and stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, I will say that this is a career highlight project for me because I've never had so much fun and creative freedom on a job before. Like, and
something at this caliber, like this big of a stage and having that much creative freedom is awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, like, it was really lucky to work on, like, this movie I don't know if you've seen it. It's really good. Like, it's a super fun flick.
Yeah, I hear that it's really good, and I actually want to go try and catch it in the theater.
Like, it's fun. It's a different approach than, like, all the other DC movies. Like, Margot is awesome. The other people in her cast are it's worth it. It's fun. It's a fun movie. And so, like, getting to do something that sort of like reflected, I thought about it in terms of, I was just talking to Amanda about this. We were kind of talking about like what our rules were going in, and the rules for me were like I wanted it to look like it was, what could possibly be like Harley's internal sketchbook.
Right.
I also wanted you to not know how it was made precisely. Like, I didn't want you to be able to like just completely guess on everything, and to be able to use multiple different platforms. Like, we used Procreate, Photoshop, After Effects, Cinema, and Toon Boom. And wanted that to like, if shot to shot, I think it's obvious like what is actually in a 3D program versus After Effects, but I wanted them to look like they lived in the same world, if that makes sense.
Yeah, so I was looking at a couple different parts. First of all, with the that's After Effects.
That the seesaws. That's the one that I feel like breaks the expectation.
Yeah. I thought it was 3D.
There's a certain part of it that I saw where there's kind of a stretch. You're changing focal lengths, I guess. I don't know. I can't really tell, but
so
it's with the little logo. And
with all the were you using the beta of 5 for Procreate in order to do the animation, or were you doing the animation, you know, just frame by frame? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, okay, so our shortcut was, I mean, we had to blow through this thing in like, you know,
Of course.
6 weeks or something, and
Uh-huh.
small crew. So every texture, like I didn't want to do like just 2 and flip back and forth, so we did 3 just so that it feels a little more random. I feel like when you do 2, sometimes it's really obvious.
Yeah.
You know, like Saturday morning cartoon hold.
Mm-hmm.
But the 3 really helped, and then we do it on 2s, so all the textures are on 2s. So it's a 6-frame loop.
Cool. Yeah,
And,
I mean, I didn't even notice the loop at all.
Yeah, see this?
Yeah, I mean, if you stare at them, you can tell. But
This part where it's kind of like stretching out right here, like the 3, 2, 1 is like stretching out, kind of.
Yeah.
Is that like a what is going on? Like, is that a 3D, a 2D thing, a focal length change? How is that?
Well,
How is
so
that happening?
there's kind of only so many things you can do in something like this that has this look. So, you know, camera focal length was definitely a tool. And so what that is, you know, I projected, the board just had the badge behind her flat.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I think it'd be super cool if it was projected onto a cyc and you didn't know that it was on a cyc until you pulled back. So it does
Right.
that sort of like, you know,
Okay.
like change focal length and move the camera
Cool.
kind of deal, to give it sort of attention.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So is everything built like at the ending thing or whatever? It kind of comes together as one thing. Did you build everything out in there and then work on the camera moves, or was it like did you have a whole storyboard of stuff that you wanted to do and that was just one of the things at the end?
Yeah,
You
our
know-
storyboards were, you know, very flat because they were all just, you know, just drawn, not brought into 3D or anything like that. The 3D,
Oh no, stream unavailable. What happened?
What do you mean? Those were streaming.
oh yeah,
It says stream unavailable. Stream suspended for policy violations.
Oh, jeez. That's so ridiculous. Ugh. So stupid. It's because we showed that. And, you know, the
Algorithm caught them using copyrighted material.
which is ridiculous because, like, it's completely considered fair use. You have to, like, you know,
Right.
yeah.
I think they don't like you to show the whole thing. Like I'm not supposed to show the whole thing like on my,
Right.
I don't know.
Oh, my
Right.
goodness.
We're breaking it down. Come on.
Yeah, stupid algorithms. Yeah, they think that we're, like, broadcasting a movie, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So what does it mean we have to do? Just
FBI, open up.
turn it off and on again? I mean, I have
don't know.
no idea.
I don't know. I'm curious if the if it'll see it here in a second.
That's funny. That's funny.
Twitch is giving me no sound. That's funny.
Good
Okay.
Lord, people, like, there needs to be
Oh,
something.
there we go. We're back. Okay, we're back.
Oh, okay.
We're back.
So they were just
Yeah.
waiting for it to be gone, I guess.
Probably.
At least there's
interesting.
that. I gotta give them credit for doing that because at least they make it easier now to, like, just mute something or, you know, pause something or just, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, before it would be like they just take it down and you could never say
They take
anything.
it down and it'd be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you would be like, no, well, this is fair use because we're breaking it down. And under copyright law, that is considered perfectly okay. But, you know,
That's right. I'm gonna just describe it.
right.
I'll just
I guess we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
no
Here you are,
longer
you're in a
ring,
black space.
can't have nice things. Good Lord.
Oh, I wish you could see it. Oh man, it's so cool. All right, so it's
Yeah.
coming at you. Oh, I wish I could
Yeah.
just show you.
Oh, hold on. Let me check my, ooh, well, that's a good thing. I had a
So
little.
when you were doing so going back to how it was done, I mean, so when I look at this and you tell me that you use Procreate, I'm like, okay, so they drew out some elements in Procreate and then since you're doing it on 3s, you did 3 different frames of the same thing, you know, and then brought those elements in and animated that. Is that correct?
Yeah, it depended, you know, between like whether it was After Effects or Cinema. So like the Cinema things, they needed to be like, you know, just textures, like build the object and like figure out what that texture is going to look like, and then draw like a panel for it.
Kind of like the mallet. The mallet.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The mallet is like a few
Yeah.
wrapped textures.
Yeah. It's super cool. It's good looking.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I like the crossbow is my favorite.
Yeah.
it was fun to model. It was fun to, yeah, all of it was good.
I'd bring it up so we
those
could
were
talk
just-
about it, but
Here, I'll tell you at what time in the video it happens. All right, that's about 1 minute into the yeah, exactly 1 minute.
Well, if you scroll down, it has all the frames on the website.
Oh yeah.
oh, okay. Well,
Wonder
maybe
if we can even show that.
I don't know if.
Oh, that should be fine. I think the algorithm's for video, right?
Yeah, the algorithm isn't going to have this exact frame from the website on it, so I guess we can do that. I mean, good lord. There we go.
Yeah.
Mm. All right. Anywho,
So yeah, drawing all the characters and stuff. You did all the characters in Procreate as well, I'm assuming.
Well, the characters, like the silhouettes of the characters are from photos.
Okay.
Um,
Well, yeah.
but everything else is like, well, some of it was done in Procreate, some of it was done in Photoshop. Like
Okay.
for me, I had my Cintiq, so I could just work in Photoshop. But then Amanda and Michael were working in Procreate.
Okay.
I
So
mean, it's
there
all
wasn't
just,
any
Photoshop
specific
files.
thing that determined whether or not you were working in Procreate or Photoshop.
I found it a little easier for working in 3D with using Photoshop, so that I could like make an adjustment, save, reload the texture,
Gotcha.
and then it would
yeah.
populate.
Yeah.
But it didn't. That didn't matter for the After Effects stuff. So we had a workflow where, Amanda would be drawing her texture in Procreate, save out a PSD, open it up in After Effects. If anything needed to change, just change it, save it, replace it.
Yeah.
I will say that like even with only 3 versions of each thing for each, it is so time consuming.
Yeah, I bet.
just sitting there
The end
and
logo.
scribbling, basically.
Yeah, because I was trying to knock out like a shot every day or every other day,
Mm-hmm.
and like that last the logo lockup is all After Effects, but drawing that logo with the gradient, but making the gradient look scribbly,
Right.
while like also matching the other 2 frames
Uh-huh.
was tedious.
I
Like, it's
bet.
just- I've never drawn so much that my hand and my wrist were.
I'm scared to
It's a-
show
it's a
anything else.
Super... Yeah, right?
It's funny.
Let's just play the movie. I'm sure you can.
Oh, yeah. No problem.
Yeah, we're just going to go through and analyze the entire movie.
Let me bring my webcam into the Alamo real fast.
All
Yeah.
right.
I do hear that it's really good. Like my brother posted something and he said that the trailers didn't do it justice because the trailers almost made it out to be a buddy movie in a way, like the way that the characters are. Like he said it doesn't really describe just the backstory. It doesn't really show any of her acting in general, like some of the really good acting. She's done all sorts of really diverse roles.
Yeah.
She's so
Yeah.
good.
She's very good. Yeah.
The
And
Nancy
she was very
Kerrigan.
involved. She was the producer on this as well.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
the
she's
Tanya.
yes, the Tanya. Oh my gosh, like she's doing all the skating.
Was she?
A lot of it. I mean, there's probably some, but I mean, just to be able to do that many things and be that diverse, it's pretty good. Pretty good.
Speaking of skating, she roller skates in this movie, right? And so I wanted to wear this. This shirt is my friend's shirt. My friend Rachel was working on the film before I started working on it. She was the consultant for like roller skating and roller derby, and did some like training sessions for Margot. And then like other friends of mine, because I play roller derby, and so like I know that community, and like a bunch of my friends are in the film in this like roller derby scene, and I know her 2 stunt doubles from like years.
Did you? I was going to ask you if you designed that shirt, but you said that's your friend's
No.
shirt. Did your friend design that, or is that just?
I don't know who drew it.
Oh, okay.
She sold it as a fundraiser. She has some.
Dave, my audition locked up.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh, we're just riddled
At
with
some
problems
point,
today.
and I don't know when.
Great. That's great. No, I actually had my recording has stopped twice now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Some days you just get the bad juju.
I'm very nervous because I can't even get it to respond.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I just quit.
Let it sit for a second. You can always bring your stuff back up.
I've already hit stop, and.
Well, I already have a feeling that this episode is going to have to be stream audio because that's all I can do at this point. But just keep working on it, and if you get it going, you get it going, and we'll just keep moving. So, all right. Anything else that we want to talk about on that particular project, or do you want to talk about some other topics? Penny, you and I talked about some possibilities of other topics the other day, so maybe we can.
Like, how do you when dealing with like an ending title sequence like this? Like, how back and forth is it with like Warner Brothers and stuff like that? Dealing with that, were you a part of any of that at all?
I didn't really do any of that communication. I would get forwarded emails for, like notes. Mm-hmm. But honestly, this was so effortless. It was Michael and Bob talking to Sue Kroll over with Warner, and occasionally like Margot and some other people would be on the thread, just for like bigger approvals. But we got almost no notes on this. Like, we would send them a cut, they'd be like, "Great." I don't know like what the expectations were set at, but probably they saw the boards that were mostly just looked like they were drawn stills. And then, like, I don't even know how much they expected us to animate of them. But it, like, the only notes we really got were like shifting whose card was on whose, like whose credit was on whose card or whatever, so that like I think some people were like wanted like a cooler card or something, like, "Ooh, I like that one, can you actually put me on top of that picture," or something like that.
That's funny. Yeah. So were you drawing over pictures and stuff like that? So, are you talking about the silhouettes?
Oh, no. I mean, like, I think we maybe moved a couple names to different ones just because, like,
gotcha.
that card
okay.
Looks,
yeah,
cool,
that makes sense. Okay,
and like, let's give
That's
that
funny.
to so and so. Like, let's make sure Margot is on this cool one or something like that.
Yeah.
But like, there was almost no artistic notes on the entire project.
Yeah.
Now,
that's a killer project.
Best experience of my career, I swear.
Yeah. That's so rad. By the way, in case y'all were wondering, my audio is back up and going. It was recording that whole time.
Oh, good.
So I force quit it. I opened it back up and it said, "Would you like to recover this?" And I said yes.
Thank goodness.
And so now you'll have maybe like you'll be missing about 30 seconds of me.
I'm gonna have to like spot edit.
Clap again?
Yeah, I don't know if
we
you
should probably all do another clap real quick. And I'm gonna good lord, this is gonna be the worst. Like, I'm going to
this one's gonna come out like a week late.
What the problem is? We always have these massive podcast issues when I'm going to have to edit the show right before leaving town. And so now...
It's the Steve curse.
Right on track. Going to LA tomorrow. So let me get a little marker created. All right,
I call it the curse of Steve.
Oh, the Steve curse, yeah.
Anytime you're... it's, it means anytime you're about to go out of town to do something... Steve will always call you and say he needs something next day.
Yeah. Exactly. All right, let's do another clap real quick. You ready? There we go. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. All right.
Perfect.
So hopefully only spots of this show will have to be the stream audio. All right. Anywho, so what are you doing? What are you doing now? What's your next big thing? You working on any other big pieces now like that, or is it nice to take a break?
Well, I mean, like, I guess sort of late December, early January was my break. And then I was like desperate to do something because I'm just so scared of January and February.
Right.
Yeah.
So like,
as you should be.
Just hop on anything. Hey, anyone got a thing? Anyone got a thing available? And so I've jumped on a bunch of littler jobs, and so far so good. I've actually been tracking pretty well for this year, but I'm thankfully going into a little bit of a lull because like 2 weeks ago I was so stressed. Everything was happening at once, and I was just like, need some time off. So I have 2 little projects I'm finishing up right now, and then nothing booked past that. And I'm not hating it.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm trying to do some like I want to get my new reel out.
Mhm.
I was trying to get it
That's
done.
the best way to bring in work. Start working on your reel.
Oh my God, it's so
Because
true.
then you can't get it done because work just keeps coming in.
And I'm at this
True.
point where I have all of this stuff I want to put on that is not on my old reel. I have a song picked out, but
There you go.
I'm just such an idiot about the opening thing. Like
Right.
I just want it to be cool or interesting or whatever,
Yeah.
and I am just terrible at self-direction.
Mm-hmm. I get that. I totally get that. I've reused the same introduction for my reel for probably 6 years now.
If what I'm doing right now, which is fairly ambitious, doesn't work out, I'm gonna totally just grab my old reel.
Yeah. Just do, Trajan font, Matt Milstead.
Trajan.
Trajan.
Freaking Trajan.
Perfect.
All right. Well, along those lines.
Oh,
kind
hold
of,
on. I was going to ask this because you said you've been tracking, and you're tracking really well. What do you use in order to do that? Like, because with us, we do what we call a burn sheet, where we keep track of all of our work coming in versus what we're paying freelancers and all of our expenses and stuff. So we know exactly when we're going to run out of money,
Mm-hmm.
Is that similar to what you're doing?
No, I do it in my head. It's awful, but I have
That's
this
scary.
easy. So what I do is I add up in my head like what invoices I have out right now,
Mm-hmm.
and I just like I could probably tell you like how all 4 invoices and what the totals are. I guess that's some pretty simple math, but I do that constantly, and so I'll just like be in the shower and I'll just be thinking like, okay, so that invoice is out for so much. That invoice is out for so much. Okay, good. Oh, nice. And I just make myself feel better.
Mm-hmm.
See, I found that when you put it on paper, though, like, and you can physically see, like, okay, I know June 15th, 2020.
You'll be bankrupt.
I am bankrupt, If I bring in no work until then, I know, that's my dead date. That's the day I go start putting out, resumes and stuff like that.
I'm going to be honest with you. I'm very bad at business. It's the wrong side of the brain for me.
You say that, but you've been successful so far,
Yeah.
But not because of like BizDev,
Right.
or I can't even say it right.
Uh-huh.
Like BizDev or planning. I'm just like, I've been lucky to be able to get jobs.
Yeah.
So you're not concerned about your CPMs and ROIs, in other words. Whatever that is.
What did you just say to me?
What did you call me?
What did you call me?
Yeah. I don't know any of that stuff. I use Wix for invoicing.
Okay.
I'm a
Really?
mess.
Wix does
I didn't know
invoicing?
Wix does that.
That's
Oh.
crazy.
Yeah.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
So
I mean, it's not great.
yeah. You switched to
I
that
used
Wave
do it
apps.
in Sheets.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
I did
Yeah.
too. Yeah. I used to. Oh my gosh. Yeah. I would do it in. I would do it on Google Drive. And I would just create a Google a document, actual document with a table in it, and then I'd have to go through at the end of the year and download all of my
Oh my
individual
God.
Google Docs to
Yeah.
figure out if everything lined up.
It's a lot
Yeah,
of
I
work.
would save out the Excels as I went because I would send.
Oh, see, that's
I would
smart.
I would save an Excel and a PDF and then send the PDF.
Uh-huh.
Hmm.
That's smart. That's smart.
Yeah.
It's not smart.
No. Smart.
least-
Well, smarter.
Wix does a thing where it tells you on top like how much for the month or the year that you
Yeah.
have out, what's
Yeah.
been paid, what's overdue. It gives you alerts if it's overdue.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool.
It
Do
automatically sends
they
it.
charge you for that though?
No,
Really?
no, it's part of
That's
the
cool.
it's part of the hosting service.
Okay. Well, that's nice.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Speaking of taxes, the finger thing
Yeah.
means the taxes.
Thing means
The taxes, the business taxes are gonna be coming up pretty soon. In March, halfway through March. So, everybody, just friendly reminder to do your corporate taxes. And
Yep.
but we were talking about social media distraction. Penny and I were a little bit on Slack the other day, and that it should be a topic of the show. And there are many aspects of social media distraction, if that makes any sense, in different areas. Like, and I feel like we should just kind of go through because, okay, there's the distraction that it's there. That's number one, right? Okay, there's the distraction of my phone could be going off at any time, and
you're talking about me, aren't you? You're referencing me.
Well,
there,
maybe. No, but the phone is there, right? Okay, now I don't put Facebook notifications on my phone. Screw that mess.
I don't even have Facebook on my phone.
Yeah, but I had to turn off my Instagram notifications because it's like every 2 seconds, it's like someone liked this and someone did that. And everyone's like, well, you could go change those settings. Yes.
Must be nice to be so popular.
You can change the settings, and I changed all of them.
It is nice.
And they still send you, oh, someone liked this, and someone just joined Instagram. Okay. Like, I don't care. Someone that joined Instagram. What do you want me to do with that information? You think I'm going to open the phone and go look at it? Like, you can only get so much of that noise before it's just like enough with the noise. So number one is the distraction of just having it there. The distraction of you're on your desktop computer working on something and you're like, I'm going to go to Facebook. Okay.
I don't normally well, I take that back because I have Slack on my thing, on my desktop or whatever. But I don't ever have Instagram or Facebook or any of that stuff on there. I almost always exclusively use my phone for that. Slack's the only thing. I don't find that. I mean, it's distracting.
Here's where they get you. Here's where Instagram gets you. Is the reason that stories disappear is so that you have to constantly check and see the story before it disappears. So it keeps you on the platform. There's no other reason for stories to just disappear that quick. And I hate when I go to Instagram and somebody posted a nice story about something. Oh, look at this cool thing that I made with the Houdini class. But I didn't look at it fast enough, so I'll never get to see what it was, ever.
Yeah.
So
yeah, that's a shame.
You get those. So that's number one, taking those notification distractions off. Number two, not just instinctively opening a tab and going to whatever your social thing of choice is. Okay, so that's the general distraction. But then there's the other distraction that comes along with it, which is you have to use it for business.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's that's one of the main reasons I use Instagram. Like, I've got a personal Instagram account that like no one can get to except for like my family, and I don't ever really post to that anymore. It's just because I don't want Facebook seeing pictures of my kids and stuff like that. I'm over that. But like, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, like, I how much of that is a made up need? I mean, I'm not saying that it doesn't help with like business stuff, but I mean, a lot of the stuff is still pretty new, and like, I definitely worked for years before social even was like looked at all. You know what I mean? For work. It's still pretty relatively new, and I think there are like maybe like a lot more people, and it does seem like remote is a lot bigger thing, and remote is a lot harder because you're out of sight, out of mind. And there's so many more options for a company that wants to hire a remote person for a job. But that's where I just, I quit Facebook and Twitter. I was like, you know what, this is not worth it for me. Like, maybe I'm shooting myself in the foot. I didn't quit for an extended period of time because of this, because I was afraid of losing that connection and connection with friends.
Why did you quit? If you don't mind me asking.
I'm
pretty sure I know the reason. It's the same reason I want to quit, I would assume.
It's time consuming. It creates really bad habits for me of like checking my phone as opposed to like drawing or enjoying the moment or whatever. And to be honest, since 2016, I have been so anxious all the time with, just seeing like, hey, my Facebook was definitely a bubble, but it still stresses me out seeing the political stuff and whatever that like affects me so much. And I just couldn't anymore. It's not worth it. And it's what's interesting is I cut out Facebook a bit before I quit, and mostly tried to focus like more Mography stuff with like Twitter and Instagram,
Right.
and Slack. But I'm feeling overwhelmed by all of those as well. Just on the business side, something that we talked about before the show, which is this like, for years when I was working, because I didn't do any social with that stuff, it was just like I'd go to work, I'd do the job, I'd stay in touch via AIM, or whatever with but and then when I wasn't working, and it just feels like I'll go and scroll on Instagram and I'll see an advertisement for for like a motion course, or I'll see some cool thing that someone did that's really dope work, and there is just so much. It's like social is, we complain about the 24-hour news cycle for the last 10 years or whatever, but it's the however many million minute cycle, that's in a day. And this constant feeling of not being as good as other people, or not knowing these skills, not knowing this software, not being connected with this group or going to this event, becomes overwhelming and really anxiety inducing for me.
It almost feels like it's all the same. Like there's so much of it that it's all the same. It's like, so much Mograph. Like, it's almost like in order to be creative, in order to push some of that out of your mind, you got to follow things that are a little off the beaten path, sculpture art, or like more art station type stuff, stills, or just something to just break the monotony of your stream, at least on Instagram.
Yeah.
I agree with that. And also, along with that, because there's so much stuff, this is something that across social and Slack has really been a thing that I've had to try to wrap my head around. Because, ultimately, I like to think that I'm really smart, but I still have those animalistic things that don't understand internet-y things, right? Right, I'm setting it up. So-and-so posts the thing. They're incredible at realistic Octane ArcViz. Someone else posts a thing. They're an amazing illustrator and 2D character animator. Someone else posts a thing. They do this amazing, Houdini particle work that just looks, blows your mind. My brain still sees all that stuff and thinks, oh, this internet person can do all of those things better than I can do any of those things. And it's like, well, what I'm looking at is someone who focused on that thing, and I'm looking at someone else who focused on that thing. Yeah. And so, but I conflate them in my head to be that the competition can do all of these things.
Right. That makes sense.
As a generalist, I'm never going to reach that skill level at one thing unless I really hyper focus.
Right.
And then I can compete against that one thing, but.
And then in your head too, it's almost like everybody's good at everything. Everything has already been done.
Yeah.
Everybody has, there's no new creative thing that you could possibly do that no one has ever thought of, because everybody's done everything. It all looks the same. It's all one big mishmash of Mograph.
It's interesting because when, have you ever seen someone's work and been like, wow, they are really good, And then you go and work with them and you realize kind of their downfalls. And maybe they're not so good, and they don't know some of these basic things that you do, and it's it's that part of this entire ecosystem of people and stuff that we don't get to see. We only see the positive stuff, We
don't see that they're if they're good at file management.
Right. Or we don't know if they're going to spend, if what we would spend an hour and a half on, they're going to spend 3 days on,
Right.
I think that giving demos, giving that demo with y'all at DFW C4D, and then my demo at NAB 2 years ago, it was when someone incredible would come up to me and be like, oh, that was cool. I didn't know you could do that. And I'm like, that was a super simple modeling thing that I thought everyone knew. And it's well, no one knows. God, I feel like I've heard it said that no one knows more than 30% of any GCC. But and you pick and choose the things
Yeah. It's just whatever your path is.
I can see that.
Is what you just happen to learn. You don't see all the trial and error. You don't see the screw ups. You don't see the crappy renders. You don't see any of the backstage persona of those people. It's all the front facing stuff. It's you can equate it basically to Instagram models in a way. You know, you've seen like you've seen these
Instagram reality.
Yeah. You see how incredibly doctored everything is, and then like millions of, oh my gosh, I wish I could look like that. Well, nobody actually looks like that. You know, it's almost that. It's this false front. You know, and then when you see that all the time, you can completely compare it to that, like body image. You can completely compare it to that, because then people have body image issues because all they see is Instagram models all day. You're supposed to look like that.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
It's the same thing. You're supposed to animate like that.
Yeah. See, it's funny because like earlier you showed the picture of the plug, you know?
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, this was done in Substance Painter. And I thought to myself, man, I really need to get into Substance Painter.
Right.
It's so good, you know? I mean, he did such good work. He must be, I'm assuming I'm sorry.
Yeah.
They must be just like, I'm sorry. I apologize.
It was. His name was on it.
Just like so good at this, you know, and I'm terrible. And they can make things that look super realistic if I just knew Substance Painter.
Right.
And that all went through my head in the short amount of time that you were showing off that awesome plug. They may not know how to do a cloner object in cinema. Who knows? You know, they may not even know how to use cinema, you know.
Their folder for that project might be
this amazing, you know, well, did they model that? Do we know that? You know, we don't know these things. We just see the final product, and it's like, you know, I don't know. FOMO is a big thing within our industry, you know, and I speak from experience because I'm putting on an event. We are putting on an event that we are trying to get people FOMO'd, you know, so that they'll show up, you know. But I don't know. It's like, I don't know where I'm going with that.
It makes it hard. I mean, like even you want to be real, you want to be authentic, you want to be. I mean, you don't want to be fake, you know, and you don't want to be too corporate-y. But then if you start building anything, then you're going to become a little corporate-y. You're gonna. What happens when you got to get sponsors? Yeah. And what happens when one of those sponsors produces some sort of new update or something that you don't like? Is it going to make you less likely to say something about it? You know, it's a tough thing. What I was going to say about the social stuff too is that I think, you know, as a freelancer, you know, whatever, you don't have to necessarily get on social as much, I think, as if you're trying to run a brand. If you're trying to run a brand, that's when you you have to have Facebook. It's like, I get on Facebook, I got to go to our brand, but in order to get there, I got to go to facebook.com. And then, there's 4 notifications. I wonder what those are. Well, I don't know because I haven't clicked on them yet. So they could be something.
You don't know if they're like your aunt tagged you in a photo or whether it's someone asking a question from the product that you have put out.
Right.
But you have to click on the thing in order to see what the answer is.
And then you're like, oh, your aunt, you know, responded to your article about not liking Trump, and she says MAGA, you know, and then you're like, and then that gets you down. And then, and you're like,
or gets you infuriated.
Right. That's what I'm saying. And then you're like, oh, what was I doing? Oh, I was going to check on my brand. But then you're like, I feel kind of like not so great right now.
I need to take a break.
Right.
I need to take a break.
And then you go through those notifications and you refresh your Facebook page. Oh, there's a big article from USA Today about something stupid that happened in politics today. Well, now I feel really bad. So now I'm going to look at this. I'm going to comment on this thing. What was I doing 5 minutes ago?
Right. Gotta check on that thing.
Check on that thing. But with the social, I wish that I really wish that the news feed and the politics could just be stripped out. I know there's plugins that do that. But sometimes it's like, can I turn this off until 6 p.m. tonight so I don't have to talk about it?
I've hidden enough people. Like, honestly, I have. That's why I think Facebook is really stupid. One, I don't accept a lot of people on my Facebook just because I don't. me personally, I don't like letting a lot of people into my life, even though if you talk to me, I am an open book and I will tell you every single thing about me,
Mhm.
you know, but I just don't like it to be public knowledge about me,
Mhm.
you know. But I forgot where I was going with this.
Yeah,
But also, I've hidden so many people
Uh,
that literally I have 5 people that show up on my
Right.
feed, you know, and I know they're people who aren't going to post politics except for you, Dave, you know.
I never
and
post
just
politics.
Say, oh,
I don't know
Dave,
what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Never.
yeah. See, but you, I know you well enough to know that you more than likely didn't read the article. You just got infuriated by the
Oh, I read
clickbait
the
and
articles
just
all
hit
the
share.
time. I read the articles all the time.
Because you just like pressing buttons of people who do follow you.
I don't know what you're talking about. I've never trolled anybody in my life.
But yeah,
no,
like I mean, but I will say, like Reddit, on the other hand, I'm on Reddit all the time. Like if I am not on my computer, if I have any sort of free time, if I am stopped at a stoplight,
oh my gosh, it's
I am
true.
on my phone surfing Reddit, and Dave knows that's true.
Matt.
I really am a terrible.
He stops at the light and he opens Reddit. I'm like, dude, you have 10 seconds.
Yeah. So, but and Reddit, I do the Reddit news on my phone, and it's the same. Like there will be a big news thing that, you know, someone terrible in politics did, and like there will be 10 articles of the exact same thing telling the exact same thing.
Yeah.
You know? And so it does, when you see things like this is the same going back to, like, you know, seeing an Instagram post or a Facebook post of like someone posting their, you know, their win in Mograph. You know, you see 10 or so of the exact same thing, you know, and it feels overwhelming, like, oh my gosh, this is a huge problem that I'm not at that level that everyone else is.
Yeah. Well, Penny, I commend you for switching that stuff off. It has to be a lot more peaceful, right?
It is. Peaceful? Oh no, it is. It really is. I was regretful because I didn't want to lose all the history that I recorded in Facebook. Mm-hmm. So okay, so some backstory. And who is it? Someone, Tesla Rock. This is what I was thinking about too. Is I kind of blew up my Facebook during my like really bigger roller derby days, and I accepted anyone. I was a sponsored skater by Rydell Roller Skates, like the biggest roller skate manufacturer, and like so I felt an obligation to be a presence. And before that, when I was first like transitioning trans, it was very hard to find people that like online that were like, oh, can you have a normal life if you transition? Can you be a trans woman and work and all that?
Yeah, that's interesting.
And so I felt a lot of pressure internally to put myself out there. And like, you know, I had a YouTube channel where I like videoed as I like was going through my transition and stuff like that. I just didn't see it in very many people. In very many places online, and I wanted other people to know that, like, you know, you can do this, and it doesn't fuck your life. Sorry.
Yeah.
But and so there was another group where I like, you know, put myself out there, accepted a lot of friend requests. So like my Facebook was like, I had 4,500 to 5,000 friends or something like that.
Oh my gosh!
Wow.
It became unmanageable.
That
There's no tools for that.
Yeah.
There aren't Facebook tools to like do mass deletes based on like interaction and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so I tried it first for like a year. I would go in and just unfriend people that I don't know, because it's like there's like 100,000 skaters around the world, and I skated on 4 continents, and you know I used to travel and train, and I'd make all these friends around the world, and I was like afraid that I would like delete a contact of someone who was like you know accidentally dear to me because I hadn't seen them in a while, you know, from South Africa or whatever. And I just decided to just nuke the whole thing. It just seemed easier because I couldn't censor my Facebook. I don't even think Facebook lets you unfriend that many people at a time. Like it has a cap or something.
Oh, really? Yeah, you needed one of those fan pages or something. But I don't even know if that stuff was around yet.
I have a page. I had a fan page, like a sports, like an athlete page. But that was a whole thing. Then you have like multiple accounts and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So now
Right.
I do have a Facebook account, but I have two friends: my wife and someone who posts a lot of cat memes. Those are my
Okay.
only friends, just because I have a bunch of groups that I'm a part of online.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So
By
did
the
you have
way,
to,
public
did you
service
have to-
announcement.
Mm-hmm.
what?
Don't if you're forming a group for a job or a group or a team, don't use Facebook. It's awful. Some of us are trying to get away from it.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
What-
Everybody's like,
Is
"Oh,
there
I'm
a
in all these
recommendation of
groups."
something that you would say you should use instead?
Yeah.
Some of them are trying out Twitch and Slack.
Really?
Hmm.
Recommend.
Twitch. That's interesting.
Well, I mean, Twitch is like gamer Slack, right?
Yeah.
Well,
No.
well, and Discord. Discord's
Discord.
probably
That's what I meant. I'm sorry.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
there's so
like-
much Discord.
It's really?
Like
Okay.
like Slack
That's
and
new.
Discord are very much similar, but like the
That's not me.
Discord servers are just yeah. Is
Wow. Kenny's way hipper than I
yeah,
am.
but doesn't Twitch use? I don't know. Isn't there a relation or is there not? I don't know. Maybe not. Maybe I'm completely wrong. But yeah, the Discord servers. There's a Discord server for everything you can think of.
Mhm.
But I like what you did there with your Facebook though, because you can still have it, but you don't have any of the feeds. I mean, I guess that would be a good recommendation if you want to cut that out. Something that Facebook does, at least on the PC or like the desktop side, not the phone side, is it lets you have like these multiple logins. So like let's say you have a family computer and you've got 4 different people in the house. With Facebook, you can click and you can pick which account. So you could almost set up a Facebook account that has nobody in the feed and then give yourself
those.
permission to edit business accounts. And maybe you could do it that way.
His name is Martin Mirkwood.
You have a name.
True.
That's
That was
funny.
my alias for a long time.
Yeah.
Martin Mirkwood.
Well, mine's
Yeah.
the same. I definitely had to train my friends to stop friend requesting me or asking if I unfriended them,
Uh-huh.
because
Mhm.
they would see me pop up because like I'm friends with my wife. They'd be like,
Right.
wait,
Oh,
and then they
yeah.
wouldn't think to check to see if they were still friends with my other account. But
Mhm.
so like the headline in it says like under my picture is like, don't friend me, like leave me alone. This is just for groups.
Uh-huh.
Right.
I didn't unfriend you.
That might be a good way to go. Now, Twitter, on the other hand, was it the same thing with Twitter, or was it just too much noise with Twitter?
I'm still trying to, even having those two things gone for a while, I open my phone all the time and
Yeah.
just
What do you
stare
go
at
to
it.
now?
What?
What do you go to now?
Well, I look at it yet less, but I mean, Slack, I guess, is
Yeah.
my enemy. I actually had to mute a bunch of channels and leave a bunch of channels and a bunch, because it's so ridiculous.
Oh,
I mean, do y'all's look like this,
kind
Yeah.
of. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like just
See,
mad.
the thing is,
Yeah.
though, I don't have I don't go to any of those other ones unless it is specifically
You get a
if
notification.
I have a job where they're all working in Slack, then I'll have that one. I will actually have that one open on my main screen and have my phone on the mograph.com.
But even
one.
on ours, dude, there are so many channels. You allow for a notification for anything that comes up in any channel on your phone. Your phone is literally buzzing all day with anything anyone
It
says
is.
in any channel.
is.
And I
It
do
is.
not know
It is.
how you deal with that. I only have it to
becomes
come up with.
irritating at times. Like the thing is, it's the FOMO thing. I read every
oh my gosh,
every
dude, I don't know
single
how.
message on Slack. It may take me a week to finally get to that channel, and I'll be way behind on the conversation, but I do read every single message.
Oh my gosh.
Like, I mean, if I'm subscribed to every single channel in our Slack. I'm in the New York City channel. I don't live in New York City. I just like knowing what's going on in New York City.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, you rarely talk.
I do.
Yeah, you lurk.
I do.
You're a
but
lurker.
you better believe I read every conversation.
If it's not about cereal, I never see your name pop up.
It's true. The only way to get me is to post a new picture of a new cereal that I have not tried. That I will instantly respond.
Is this
to.
on the food channel? Is this the?
It's on the food channel.
See, there's a food channel. See, that's why I
Yeah,
can't have that noise.
me and Penny were talking. We're gonna do a cereal tasting at Camp Mograph.
Oh, you know
we're
what?
gonna
You
pick
should
up a whole bunch.
You should do a podcast. You call it the Cereal Podcast. Oh wait.
Uh, there it is. Welcome to Cereal, a weekly show about
welcome
new
to
cereal that we discover
on NPR.
This week's episode. Twinkies
Oh my
cereal.
gosh, you should do that and just make it look like the cereal branding.
Right.
And do a
Right.
podcast about cereal.
I'm pretty sure Cookie Monster already did that.
Oh.
I think Cookie Monster did do.
Did he?
Cereal specific podcast already. See, Caitlin, yeah. She knows. She's in the know.
Sesame
she knows
did
all
it.
this stuff. Yeah.
Man.
The Twinkies cereal by Hostess is terrible, by the way. Although
gosh.
someone posted, I think it was
To no one's surprise.
G-Rant posted, what was it? The drumsticks cereal.
Oh
my gosh.
That
That looks good. Looks really good. That looks. See, we start talking about cereal. Everyone's in the chat.
See,
there we go.
Caitlin said to Google Empty Bowl. It's called the Empty Bowl Show on Twitter. Empty Bowl Show at Empty Bowl Show. Oh my goodness. It's just cereal stuff.
Empty
Wow.
bowl. Empty bowls. Empty bowl. No.
The Empty Bowl, a meditative podcast on cereal.
Nice.
Wow. Okay, so back to the Twitter thing. Okay, this is why I'm asking about Twitter. Because I think right now, a lot of people are trying to figure out what is Twitter exactly? What is its place right now? Because we kind of know what Facebook is. Shit show,
Yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
We know what Instagram is.
I think
I like being in Instagram when I want to be in Instagram because I'm like, ooh, pretty. I'm enjoying this inspiration, and then I put it down.
Less hate from Instagram.
Okay.
I
Get
get
less
a
what?
lot less hate from Instagram. I get a lot of hate from Twitter. I don't get any. I get hate from family members on Facebook.
It's about
It's
filtering
true.
out hate, basically.
It is.
Right?
Like that's why I enjoy Instagram because I choose who I follow. I don't comment on rarely anything. If I'm going to comment, I send someone a personal message, saying that's cool, or I comment on stories. I really only like stories. Stories are good,
You know what keeps me out of that whole area on Twitter, I guess, is when you're doing a brand on Twitter, okay? If you're not big on your personal Twitter, but you're just doing a brand on Twitter, you don't see as much of that kind of stuff.
That's
You're
true.
not adding,
I don't know.
Johnny
We've
John
gotten-
from high school who's got a big red hat on and is, you know what I'm saying? And when you do a brand, you're seeing people who are posting stuff about brands. I'm going to see what GSG posts. I'm going to see what Ryan Summers posts. And most of the time it's going to be motion related. So I'm going to open it up. It's going to be motion stuff. Also, if someone posted something about politics, I'm not going to comment under mograph.com and respond to
appreciate
it. Because it has, sorry, go ahead. Go ahead, caller.
No, here's my question though. Long time listener, first time caller. So I wonder what the percentage of returns is on social media for your average person. Like, I understand, like, as a brand, like, you want a wall of brand. You want people to, like, have constant awareness of you so that, if they have a thing where they're like, oh, you know what? I wish I could, learn Houdini. Who should I? Oh, there's an ad for the mograph.com. Who, don't be afraid of Houdini class.
Yeah.
That's great. But we talked about this on Monday meeting last week, I believe. And folks were asking, like, okay, well, what's the best one? Is it Not Behance now? Is it Instagram? Like, is it? And then there's a billion places, between Facebook and Twitter and whatever.
Dead, right.
It dribbles. Yeah, there's always a new dead one. There's always the like hot one, But I have never gotten work from Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, any of those things, right? Like, there's so many. And I think about where, like, I will, find jobs in the job posting and Slack channels and, like, like maybe there was a social media post somewhere where I like was like, oh hey, I can do that, and then I got a job. That's sure. I'm sure that's happened. But
Right.
compared to the other avenues, how important are those things next to having just a well curated website with your portfolio and contact
Right.
information that's clear? And like if you I use Instagram mostly for personal stuff, a lot of dog and cat photos, a lot of meals, the occasional motion test or whatever. And honestly, I post those motion tests just so that like my friends who follow me that are in the business, like maybe a producer at a local post house goes like, oh, it looks like Penny knows how to do 3D. Cool. All right. I don't expect to get a call for that, but it's just like a little back in the mind thing. But I think I would go crazy if I tried to keep up on all these different platforms. When I don't know.
Well, that's why it is hard to measure, I guess, because if you're posting things on the reg, people who follow you are going to be like, oh, I know a person who does that. I see they're posting things every once in a while on Instagram. If you post it on your website, they're never going to go to the website unless you're sending them an email and saying, here, check out my website. It keeps your brand fresh on people's minds. That's what I think, anyway.
I think the best social thing ever is either events, face-to-face interactions where you're actually talking and getting to know someone, or online Slack channels and stuff like that. Being able to converse with other people helps you get to know the way someone is. We have a select group of people that we would call if we needed help on something, and we may not have ever worked with these people, but we know their work, one, because they post their stuff online, but mostly because we have met these people in person or on Slack or something, and we know how they're going to work.
Exactly. You know that their file structure is going to be organized. You know that they're going to follow directions, that they're going to finish the project in a timely manner because you're used to that.
Yeah.
Now,
Caitlin was saying, I think when you're starting out and no one's social media is great, I very rarely have gotten jobs direct from them, but it's how I know and have met a lot of people, but then it plateaus hard. Mograph teens, network for a year and then delete your accounts. I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
I think that's a great idea.
Yeah.
See, I'll never get rid of Slack. I love Slack and I love all the people in our Slack, because I consider a lot of these people my very close friends, and they're people that I would work with and will work with in the future if said jobs come up.
Digital Castaway says, I got more out of meeting you guys in Colorado and being on the Slack in 6 months than I did by being on all social media platforms for years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, plus think about it this way. If some rando hit you up on Instagram and it was like, hey, what would you charge for this? Or, hey, I got a job, you're immediately not going to be like, oh, sweet.
You're going to be skeptical.
Job's coming up. All right. Yeah. You're going to be super
crazy skeptical.
Yeah, exactly.
People who reach out to me on like LinkedIn or whatever.
You're insane. If you're not immediately skeptical, the second someone hits you up on one of these social media sites asking you for work, like
how much for a music video? I got like $200.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But when you're on like an actual networking site such as a Slack channel or going out to meetups or going to events or going to Camp Mograph, get that FOMO, like it's so much more one-on-one, and you build relationships with people. And that's what I think helps grow your brand. Ever since we started doing meetups and ever since we started doing that, like we may invest some money in a lot of these meetups or invest money in Camp Mograph and stuff like that. But the amount of work that comes out of it, is like tenfold. There you go, Dave. There's your
there's
your
my clip,
or whatever you call it. There's your clip.
Podcast
Use
frag.
that.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, there's your podcast frag.
Okay, so when I really think about it, I go through my Insta feed, right? And I I really do enjoy seeing a lot of this stuff, but what I really enjoy the most is seeing what my friends have done. And they're only my friends because I've gone to meetups and because I've met these people, like they're legit friends now, you know? So it's like, I want to know what Billy Chitkin has been up to because I want to see that stuff. Like, I'm like, oh man, that's really cool. Like, look what my buddy here is doing. But then also, if I see a particular style that somebody is doing, and then later on somebody asks, hey, I need this style of this thing done. Yeah. Well, if I don't know how to do that well, I'm going to call that person and be like, oh, I know you posted that thing. That I feel like that's what that helps do, like continually posting that, you know, different types of animation or stuff you've done so people know what you can do. But again, it's still going to be for people who are in your immediate clique or your friends or connections rather than just randos.
Well, you know, networking and word of mouth. Word of mouth is number one in our industry, you know? Yeah, number one. You know, you are going to get recommendations recommended for jobs from other people, and that's one of the main reasons you will make money as a freelancer. You know, if you go on it's funny, you were talking about what you were just talking about. If you go on our Slack channel and someone posts something, hey, I have a job posting for this and this, immediately, if we don't know that we would be good at it, or if we're like, no, I'm busy, but we almost all of us want to respond with someone who we know would be good for that.
There's a lot of at so-and-so. Have you seen
exactly
this?
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, at so-and-so would be good at this, at so-and-so, you know, and eventually you're going to find someone who's going to be able to do the work.
Yeah.
Know?
But you know that it's at so-and-so is going to be good because they have at least posted something, you know? So it's that weird, like, you know, it's a tough, and you don't really know either. Like, you don't have conversion tracking for that kind of thing. That doesn't, that, you know, I mean, with us, when we're doing sales, I can look and I can see, okay, this person saw this out on Instagram. They clicked through the site and then they hit buy because it tracks that for you to say, what was it worth for me paying that amount of advertising money to get that sale, you know? But you don't have that. You can't say, well, you know, what did I post that made this person hit me up on Slack for a project? There's no way to quantify that, I guess. And so luck of the draw.
Yeah, I don't know.
You know,
that's why. Well, I mean, that's why. I don't know. That's why it's important to network, and it is important to put your work out there. You know, I mean, see, that's the only reason I keep an Instagram is because I want to be able to put my work out there. Or really, in our Slack, for example, there's a share. You know, if I post something, if I make something that I really like, I'm going to share it. That's why you haven't seen a lot of stuff that I have posted in the share channel. But if I do, you know, I'll post it in the share channel.
Well, and
you know?
I mean, I don't really post for the meal projects ever.
Right.
You know, Penny, like that
would be a fun channel for the meal.
Oh gosh.
You know?
Yes.
Where we
talked about that.
For the
Your
meal.
Unreal.
Really
the Unreal,
idea.
Remember? We talked about doing the Unreal.
That's an actual reel. You know,
wasn't that?
I'm talking about instead of like share, you know, where we share the projects that we just posted. You know, we're posting for the meal projects.
Penny, wasn't that you that was on the show?
What does that mean?
For the meal?
Yeah.
Well, you've got projects that you do for the reel, and you've got projects that you do for the meal.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Penny,
I guess.
I swear, Penny, you were on the show when we talked about having your Unreal or something. I don't know who that was then. But see, you got the project that you just did through that same sort of networking, though.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I've been working for them for since the mid 2000s.
Right.
So that was just kind of like we just chat once in a while. That's like the first place when I don't have work going on. I'll just be like, hey, letting you know that I'm free.
But that's kind of,
you know,
I mean, that's somebody that you knew. That's networking. That's, you know, friends or acquaintances.
That's old school networking, like pre-social.
Yeah.
That's how, you know, I did it in Los Angeles. You know, like when I didn't even go on like Motionographer back then. I'm one of those people that's probably a bad person to follow or like listen to because I enjoy the job, but I mean, it is a job. Like this is now my 18th year doing this. you know, plus the college before that. Like I get excited about projects now and then. This project was so fun. And like, for the most part, the jobs I do are for the meal.
Yeah.
Like almost everything. And I try not to let that stuff stress me out, but like the extra stuff, that stresses me out. But keeping in contact, I love talking to people. I love maintaining, you know, the friendships with people. I'm way better offline than I am online. Yeah. I'm a mess online.
Well, you've been on enough recently where we've already done Mograph recommends. So I have a question to throw out there. I think that will be good for anybody who's already done Mograph recommends, and it's something that Matt asked me this morning. Or it's similar to something Matt asked me this morning. He asked me, like, okay, let's say that we get everything going that we want to do, and the revenue's coming in, blah blah blah. What do you want to do? My question though
what's
is,
your end game?
End game for some people is just to make money, right? But I want to modify it a little bit, and I think this would be a good show topic. If you weren't doing this for a living, or not a good show topic, a good question. If you weren't doing this for a living, what would you be doing for a living?
Oh, this is to me.
That's to you. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool.
I think that's it helps to show
the only other thing
everybody's
I've been good at
personality
is
in
food
another
service, making pizzas. And it's funny because I want my ultimate goal is make a couple $1 million that I can live off of and start my own pizza chain. I want to get back to making pizzas. You know?
Highgraph.
Right.
Highgraph.
Mopie.com.
Yeah, I mean, how many of us have thought about like quitting, right?
Uh-huh.
And like, okay, all right, I hate this job right now. So what do I do? You know, like I've gone through that so many times in my career.
Yeah.
And yeah, oh man, I almost went back to school for film and for illustration. And I very much considered trying to get into tattooing.
Really?
Yeah, I borrowed my friend's tattoo guns and tattooed a bunch of grapefruits, and then I realized how much you like don't make for the first 2 or 3 years, and you're like apprenticing, and how hard it is to get into there, and like compound that, like the tattoo crowd, how many people would not want to get a tattoo from like a trans person? Like, I mean, just like realistic shit, you know?
Yeah.
And
and who wants to buy, you know, tattooed grapefruits? I mean,
I'm glad you picked up the real important part of that story.
Yeah.
It's like a practice thing. Yeah, I don't know. That's a really tough one. Like, and there's this part of me that like is afraid that in like 10 years I'm not even going to be competitive in this field. And I thought that 10 years ago, and I thought that 10 years before that I'm like, when am I going to age out? There's no way I'm going to be able to still keep up when I'm 40.
Well, and it's not even
now.
like about keeping up. It's just about like how long do you want to sit at this desk doing this?
Right.
You know, you're either going to, and some people do it forever, but you don't see a lot of older Mograph people. I think half of that's because it's still a new industry, but you can become an art director.
Yeah,
you can run a business.
Old Mograph people, come on.
Yeah. They have started running businesses instead. That's what it is. Yeah. But and I think that I would do this for fun no matter what. I've talked about like I would love to open a bar, but I would like the bar to be very, very fun and interactive and cool, trippy stuff on the walls and interactive everything and all of that. I would have fun because then you're doing what you want for your own thing. It's like I'm going to go to Cinema 4D and design this cool poster for this event at my bar, you know, or some cool like projection map stuff. And every week you come into the bar and it's a different theme. This week it's jungle theme Friday, you know, whatever, you know, that would be fun.
My
but
favorite theme.
Yeah.
I wanted to pair a post house with a bar and call the bar Post. So like, and the slogan would be "Come fix it in Post."
Oh, I like that.
My brother owns bars in Brooklyn. He's been doing that for like 22, 23 years, something like that. And so like, I definitely, that's his experience both makes me want to do it and tempers my expectations.
Yeah.
It seems difficult.
It is not easy running a bar. But then part of me also wants to be a lawyer. So I don't know.
See, I have also I would love to do music as well, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like I did music for years and years and years and was in bands and sang and stuff like that, and I have a beautiful voice, you know.
Like an angel,
And
some would say.
like an
Mm-hmm.
angel, yes. And I would probably do that. I don't know. But really if I could have anything, if I had unlimited funds, I'd probably just make cartoons and, you know, make pizzas. That's what I do.
Cartoon pizzas.
Cartoon
pizzas.
pizzas.
It's a good idea. Actually, the number one client, and if anyone has a hookup for me, I would love to do work for Domino's Pizza. I know Domino's Pizza like culture inside and out because I worked for them for probably 13 years.
I thought you were going to
anyone
say
has
just
a
because you
hookup-
eat their pizza.
Oh yeah.
I know Domino's Pizza.
Right.
I'm eating one right now.
This
I
episode brought
do
to you
have
by
some cold
Domino's.
I do have some cold Domino's down in my fridge. But no, they I mean, honestly, I started working for them when I was 16 years old. I stopped working for them, you know,
Last
in
month.
some sort
Yeah.
of capacity at 26, you know?
Who's the Noid?
And then,
Who had the Noid?
I don't know what the company that actually
That was Domino's.
Was it
It
Domino's?
was Domino's, yes, but actually there was an agency that owned the Noid, you know.
Weird.
So like they can't I guess they can't reuse it or whatever. I
Man.
don't know.
Got to be old school. Bring it back.
Right?
What was I gonna say? Oh, I hope you've been practicing for karaoke. By the way.
I have been. The problem with karaoke is that by the time karaoke comes, my voice is already shot. You know? It's
When is
shot
it?
by like day one.
It's on 420.
It is on
Oh, this is an
Blaze it.
NAB.
Yeah.
NAB, yeah.
Yeah, I did
You gotta come
practice.
karaoke.
I practiced the other night. I practiced my getting jiggy with it. There's a video of me somewhere that I have not seen of last year.
I'm pretty sure I have that.
Do
Hold on,
you?
let me look.
Oh my goodness.
I can't
no.
even imagine being able to sing at the end of NAB. Or
Oh,
at
I
that part.
know.
I can't
Yeah.
imagine it. I'm like 2 days in, my nose is bleeding.
Everybody's dry. Yeah.
I
Face is
just can't do
cracked.
that much coke anymore.
Let's see.
Ding.
Las Vegas.
Oh
I
man.
can find.
Anyway, we'll just move right on then. Oh, okay. Man, we're already at almost 2 hours. All right. Let me do this real quick. Let's do some links.
Games links.
I actually have a good handful of links this week to show all of you. Number one is virtual ASMR, and I wish I could remember where I got this link. Where somebody I don't think anyone sent it. I think I saw someone post it somewhere. I'm sorry I didn't give you credit. Virtual. Oh, you know what ASMR is, right?
Yes.
You know.
Virtual ASMR?
Well, you know what ASMR is. Just in general.
so.
You know, where people like get the weird head tingles and they like to listen to talk like this. Whisper. Or people doing like, you know, like into the, and people like that stuff and they watch it on
Welcome to
YouTube.
the ASMR section of
Yeah.
the Mograph
We're gonna
podcast.
talk about Mograph like this.
This is a clicky keyboard.
Oh
good,
yeah,
right?
oh yeah, that's
Very
good.
nice.
Thank you.
And a lot of people like try to equate it to like something sexual, but it's not. You know, like there's people that truly enjoy listening to those noises in their ears with headphones, and like it gives you this weird brain tingle. And I guess not everybody is prone to liking that. Some people absolutely hate it, understandably. You know, people chewing in your ear, no thank you.
Gross.
But
Unless it's Domino's.
yeah, that's
Of
right.
course.
That's
I mean,
right. Yeah, Caitlin says 100% non-sexual, we promise.
Anything sexual if you do it wrong enough.
Right. And this link though, there's a Behance gallery and it's called Visual ASMR. And so it has like these noises, but it has these like visuals that are supposed to like bring the same response. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I know I had it.
Yeah, you're gonna have to send me that.
That's Dave singing "Get Jiggy with It" at Karaoke last year.
Oh, I was like, that's
No,
ASMR?
it's not ASMR.
I don't think so.
I mean, it can be. What is something? What's on my face?
Yeah, you look like a juggalo.
What's on my
like a
face?
Probably a light.
Oh.
Yeah, it's just a light.
Oh, it's a
okay.
light. I gotcha. I can see. I could see the reflection of your temperature control.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Interrupt.
Check that out. You know, whatever. Oh, Mandalorian. Oh, this behind the scenes of Mandalorian, you got to check out.
So good. Penny, have you seen this?
Not the behind the scenes, no. The show, yes.
That they're using. Is it Unity or it's Unreal? One of the two.
It's Unreal, I think.
Unreal. Along with like all the camera tracking and the LED panels and
Oh,
stuff.
they're doing that stuff in it?
Yeah. To like get the realistic like lighting or the realistic,
But they're
more
not.
realistic lighting and more realistic reflections and stuff like that.
But they
It's
actually
way
use
cool.
it. Like it's not like they're using it to like frame the shot and then like, you know, green screen. They're literally getting these shots with this stuff in the background because they're in this huge round LED. Like, so they're framing the shot and they're like using that for production, you know?
Yeah.
And you got to
It's
check this video out.
absolutely insane to me.
Yeah. All this on the fly. They're like, oh, that mountain's not big enough. And then they
Here's the
just
thing,
make it
they're
bigger.
not the first ones to do this.
No.
You know, like I've seen it at NAB for years, you know, for the past few years, people doing this on live sets and stuff.
But it's about
But I
blocking
think-
most of the time is the thing.
Right, or doing like news stuff, you know?
Yeah.
Like I
the
think this is the
virtual-
first
yeah.
time
Yeah, virtual
a
set.
big production company has actually used it in a production. It's something to this caliber, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
It
way-
almost seems like the kind of thing that wouldn't work. You know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
if
Yeah.
I were to, you know, if like someone pitched that to me, I'd be like, well, there's no way. Like, you'd get some kind of weird more
Yeah.
pattern or
It's
something.
the first thing I
or-
thought of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I'm curious what the pixel pitch is on each of these LED panels. Like is it that like the background is so big and
So
or
far
you're so
away.
far away from it
It's
that
depth of field.
that like the depth of field like just kind of blurs,
Blurs
it
it
enough to
out,
where
yeah.
you don't see the pixel pitch.
And I'm
or
sure-
is it just so fine that like
They're
you know,
probably using
whatever.
a very high res wall, the pixel pitch, but
Yeah.
but honestly, like if that stuff is all out of focus and then they're bringing down the overall brightness, I'm sure those LED panels have the ability to be incredibly bright. They probably bring them way
Right.
down, you know.
Yeah, that's probably true. I didn't even think about
And
that.
then once you light the person in front, then the stuff in the background is a little more even and all of that, you know. And plus it's camera tracking and these distortions, like you can see in the video that there's actually real-time distortion going on just toward the stuff that's like facing the camera so that it looks correct and the other stuff isn't moving, but it's distorting these weird areas. Definitely worth checking out. I hope they do more.
Yeah.
You know.
I
I'm
think,
really-
go ahead.
I'm really curious about how like the bit depth and the like range of light works. You know what I mean? Like that's the next thing that my brain goes to is like, you know, if you see the sun in the shot and like shadows and stuff like that, like how are you adjusting your camera settings so that it feels like a dynamic range of lighting?
Mhm.
Because I mean, like these monitors don't go as bright as the real sun, right?
Right.
Like maybe it's
Right.
better because
Right.
you're not actually blowing anything out. You have more control over the entire thing.
Yeah.
No sis knows said from what I've read the panels are pretty dense. The panels
Oh,
behind
that's Brian.
the camera. What?
That's Brian.
Oh, hi Brian. The panels behind the camera aren't as dense.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I know this gnosis. What is it? The American cinematographer article about it online. Okay. I'll see if I can look that up. We'll put it in the
Cool.
notes.
Cool.
Super dope though.
Also, a link here. So we talked about last week, John Dickinson. He has now this week joined the Boris Effects team.
Good for him.
Yeah.
Yay.
Yeah.
I think that's a good call because you know he knows Sapphire really really well.
Mhm.
You know, and he has been a big proponent of Sapphire and Boris products for a very long time since we've known him.
Mhm.
You know.
Yeah, don't question John Dickinson. Also, this is interesting. Adobe patches a critical bug affecting Media Encoder in After Effects. So...
Is it the this needs 2 frames to play?
No, this
bug?
is
No, still haven't fixed that
this
one?
is an exploit.
Easy.
This is an exploit where you can take a maliciously crafted, I guess, After Effects file, and if you open it, it can like mess up your computer. Like, this is like a bad bug. Now, I don't know if anyone's actually done that. It's just in theory, you know, this will happen. And it, of course, hey, get this, surprise. The reason that it's doing it is it's taking advantage of a memory leak type situation. You know,
Yeah,
surprise,
there's plenty
After
of
Effects
those.
has memory leak problems. So it's just taking advantage, but they patched it, so make sure that you patch your things. My question is, and you can probably do this, but if you're on an older version of one of these programs, and that's the one affected, do you have to like upgrade to the new version, or can you patch the old version? I'll have to look and see.
Oh, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I don't know.
There was a bunch of Adobe upgrades. Like I have both 19 and 20 installed on my computer, and it had updates for both.
Okay, that's probably the way it works then. Yeah, so I heard that's already out, so I think the article says it's already out. So make sure that you update that. You know, it's like, oh, what else is this going to break now? You know, that's the thing I hate about it. It's like, oh, we closed that bug, but now RAM preview works worse. I don't know. Also, Maxon put out something as well, future system requirements for Cinema 4D.
Yeah.
Did you see
for all
that?
you folks using the old Mac Pro towers, you know, and stuff, like, basically you're going to be shit out of luck for this, because it's making it to where it will only
work on
for the Mac systems,
Catalina.
it'll only work with metal, you know.
But-
and I guess they're phasing out OpenCL, is it?
Well, yeah, and
Is that true?
what it says is we want to have the best experience possible in Cinema 4D, and ensure that we recommend updating to OS X Catalina 10.15.x. There are several enhancements to Metal in the latest Mac OS, which will improve the performance and interaction with the viewport, which is great, because they're trying to concentrate on the viewport in Cinema 4D, which is what a lot of people are requesting. I think that what some people, I noticed in some comments, were upset about is the whole Catalina thing, because, I mean, God only knows what version of OS X I have running on this laptop right here.
Right.
Not that I use Cinema 4D on it, but it's one of those things where, like, the people that are just hanging on, you know, they can't update the Catalina. So that's, I think, where it falls into play. But honestly, from my perspective as someone who's switched, and I think all three of us have done this switch to PC, it's just like, okay, I understand where you're coming from, Mac people, but it's at what point are you just going to let go of it?
I mean, it keeps happening, right? I mean, like, I've been through how many processors on Macs. You know, I had PowerPC and whatever was before that, and then to Intel. Like, I mean, it happens, and then like they're killing the 32-bit support. Is that Apple? I will say that Catalina has been the most problematic upgrade on my laptop. It has been a disaster.
I've heard a lot of comments about that, about just there's things about the OS that are just not stable. And
I couldn't even log into my wireless.
Really?
My Wi-Fi didn't work.
Oh,
on it.
geez.
Wow.
Yeah.
I found this article on The Mandalorian, I think. Dave, I don't want to post it in our conversation. I'm just going to email it to you.
Oh.
But geez, I got lost in it. Like, this is so cool.
Why don't you want to
The
post
LED
it?
wall. What?
Why don't you want to post it in there?
Here, I just know that sometimes whenever
Sometimes
I post
it
stuff in our
locks up.
conversation,
Yeah.
it locks up. Yeah. It said a wall was made up of row black pearl BB2 screens with a max brightness of 1800 nits. So basically, it would be about 168 foot candles. I don't know how much that is, if that's a lot.
It's a lot of feet.
You know, it says the equivalent of an F8 3/4 at 800 ISO. I don't know. It's so cool. Like them just talking about all these LED panels and stuff like that. It's very, very cool.
Did you email it to me so I can put it in the show notes for sure.
I just put in the conversation.
Yeah.
In Slack.
Oh, okay.
It's pronounced schnotes, by the way.
Schnotes. Anyway, yeah, on the Cinema 4D thing, on the Maxon thing, yeah, consequently, in order to continue taking full advantage of technical advancements, future versions of Cinema 4D will require the AVX instruction set and support for metal on Mac systems, which is a good move. You know, there's just people who are upset about that. I understand why, but I also don't understand, like, you know, why you're hanging on. Because of the OS, I guess, you know. Anyway.
Yeah.
Tesla Rock asks, how old is that cute dog? How much is that doggy in the window? I like you do the cha-cha.
I got her in 2006, and she was probably a year old. So 14 or 15?
Wow.
She heard me.
Yeah, seriously.
No older than 10.
Right?
You're
Don't
fine.
tell him.
Did you check me? Did you see me just checking to see if she was alive? I
Yeah.
pet her, and she didn't open her eyes, and I shook her, and she didn't open her eyes or move.
Uh-huh. I do that with my kids.
Yeah, I remember you saying that. That's dark.
Yeah. There's only one other thing that I do have in the show notes for links, and that's this Deep Dream thing. And this is who is this? This is somebody that I have seen online a bunch, but I don't know if we've met in real life. You know Gavin Shapiro?
The name sounds
I
familiar.
recognize the avatar, and I don't know if we've met IRL.
Did he do the flamingo dancing thing and the penguin thing?
I'm not.
Is that a different Shapiro?
I'm not sure. But this is, you know that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. See, that's the flamingo stuff.
Flamingo. Okay, yes.
I love this guy's work.
He said, made
See,
this
and
with the
I
help
only
of
know
Moon
him
Scooter.
from Instagram.
Yeah. See, I recognize the avatar. Moon
Yeah.
Scooter is who he worked with on this.
If you're on the social network stuff, you should check him out.
He used a machine learning algorithm called artistic style transfer for videos. And it's using that, what do you call the
Deep learning stuff?
Deep Dream? It's called Deep Dream.
Yeah,
It's like makes it look like you're on LSD or something. Apparently a lot of people say that like that's what it looks like.
Shapiro
when you're on LSD.
500 is what his name is.
Shapiro 500. Yeah, it's right here.
Mhm.
Cool. But see, I guess that's an example though, right? Of what Instagram will do in that aspect. Like, oh, I recognize that guy. I've seen his stuff somewhere before, right? And now that we've seen this, we talked about him. If we met this person at a meetup, then we'd be like, oh yeah, you did the flamingo thing.
Yeah, I can't tell you the number of times we've met someone and it's like, oh, you did that? Oh, I love that.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. I also wanted to do a quick Beeple's People, but not in the traditional sense of the word. I just wanted to mention one that really stood out for me because, like, I felt like instead of like the normal Beeple stuff that you get the Buzz Lightyears and things like that, this felt like it's not in the Beeple verse. You know what I'm saying? And I just thought it was. I just thought
The
it
new
was.
Beeple verse or the old Beeple verse?
Well, that's
because those are two very
that's
different
true.
things.
That's true. No, the one that I really like is what is it called? February 20th. It's called Nuclear Family, and I don't know. I really liked this.
Oh yeah, this one was cool.
Yeah, I love the color. I love what he did with it. I just think
I mean,
this
you know
is
what's great about this one? He only had to render out half of it.
No, did he? No, he didn't. No, it's not. It's not
You sure?
fully symmetrical.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
He only had to model half of it.
He
Then he put in a symmetry.
He put a
object.
symmetry object. Yeah, there you
Yeah.
go. There you go. No, really great. Really great. I just wanted to mention that because I was scrolling through my feed and I was like, oh, who made that? It was one of those things where you're like, instead of being like, oh, that's Beeple, you're like, who did that?
Yeah.
You know, I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
wow. Like, it's just different. And so I thought I'd bring that one up. Anyway, that's all. That's all I want to have. What?
I like the non Buzz Lightyear,
Yes.
non Winnie the Pooh ones that he does. Lately.
Yes. Blood and
He-
things. Yeah. Yeah.
I love you, Mike, but Come on.
But I love this style. This is so great. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really liked that. See, that one is one that I would like frame and check out. Like put it on the wall,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah. Anyway. I don't have anything else, y'alls.
It's a 2-hour show. It might be longer depending on how much my stuff cut out.
Oh, yeah. No, we are at 2 hours now. 2 hours and 4 minutes.
All right, then you're missing 2 hours and 4 minutes. Oh, you're missing like 6 minutes from me.
It's all right. I'll pull it from the feed. I'll just spend all afternoon working on it. Don't worry.
Can you just dub it? Can you play it back and dub it?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Do some ADR. Come on. You can do that, right?
Yeah.
Jago
Penny,
Motion.
thanks for being on the show. You're one of my favorite people to have on here.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you. This was
You're
super
like-
fun. I really appreciate it.
You're super chill and you're really funny.
I mean, those are true
I
things.
always have a really good time when you're on the show, I'll say. So,
Thank you. Well, I have a good time too. This was 3 for me. This was fun.
And Jago Motion says, Puppy Graph podcast, please.
oh,
Yeah. You can
It's
talk
very
about
good.
puppies
It's like
and cereal.
The Puppy Bowl.
right,
The Puppy Bowl.
right.
It's about puppies
You know,
and cereal.
I animated the graphics for the very first Puppy Bowl.
Really?
Did you really?
I did back in like 2003 or 4 or something.
Nice.
Mhm.
Nice. Something to put on your reel.
hmm
It was at one point. I wouldn't now.
Right.
Yeah.
And so
I'm
if
the
people,
Puppy Bowl. I'm the Puppy Bowl person.
Oh,
Come on,
gee.
hire me.
yeah,
Right.
Roman numeral 1.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they're like, well, why didn't they use you for the second Puppy Bowl? Well, so we're not going to talk about
they
that.
couldn't afford me anymore.
And they couldn't
I
afford me
wasn't very
anymore.
good.
Yeah, of course.
That's funny.
Uh-huh.
That's good.
So if
Yeah,
people,
but thanks for having me on. This was super duper fun.
and if people want to find you online, and the only place they could find you online,
Oh yeah, Instagram. Baffled by foxes.
Baffled by Foxes. Did you ever tell us the origin of that? I can't remember. Is there an origin from that? Is that I don't remember.
I've always seen it as like a double meaning, you know?
Oh.
Oh,
like
I'm
you
curious.
really like foxes the animals, but you also like, oh, she's foxy. You know?
Hadn't thought of that.
That's the way that I've always thought of it.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah.
My wife is super confusing to me. Stone Cold Fox, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, hopefully we'll see you at all these things. I would like to also reiterate the Signal event at in Austin. What is the date on that? I need to make sure that I have that on my calendar. That is it March? Pausing. There we go.
Call my kid the Red Fox because he's a redhead, and like when he was born, he had just like a Captain Picard of red hair. That was it, just a little bit.
I like
And
how your
so-
dog is snuggling even more with the fox.
But the nurses put this little red fox sticker on his little nameplate or whatever, and since then he's always been the Red Fox. I've always wanted to get a fox tattoo, to cover up some of my more shitty tattoos.
I got my first fox tattoo in LA.
Yeah,
It's a big one on my leg.
nice.
I've never cried getting a tattoo before.
Oh,
Ooh.
really?
So painful.
Jeez.
Oh man, I want to get another one. I never know what to get. So
Yeah.
I did find the date of Signal. It is March 13th. I almost said March 13th. I was right. I hope I'm in town. Man,
Yep.
things are.
Friday the 13th. Yeah, you got to come down. It's gonna be super cool. Okay, yeah, plug for Signal.
Ooh.
It's
Yeah.
at the Thinkery. Super
Yes.
dope venue.
I
Yeah.
love the Thinkery. Yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be rad. And there's the week before there's gonna be like a whole day animation jam to make some content for it.
Mhm.
So like
cool.
if you live in Austin and or nearby and you want to come down for the Saturday before, the Friday night before is like a little mixer to like kind of figure out if you're bringing a team or you want to join a team and like meet people. And then the next morning at this Buzzmill, super rad coffee shop bar, it's going to be like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours or something in a row of just making whatever the topic is.
Mm-hmm.
Sweet little animation jam.
I'm just now realizing
That's cool.
that that's the second half of spring break. So that might be difficult to get down there. I don't know, unless I can bring my daughter.
Bring your daughter. She's good at Cinnabon 4D.
Cinnamon 4D.
Cinnamon 4D, that's what she calls it, yeah.
Yeah. And she might be interested to see it. I don't know.
That's super cute.
Just give her a couple beers and see what happens.
Sorry. Yeah. Yeah.
It's
Laughing
normal,
at
right?
child intoxication, you know.
Right. Not quite as funny as dog intoxication, but.
Right.
No, puppies.
Oh,
yeah, that's
look at that. And Logic locks up again. There we go. Keep going, Logic. We're trying to do a dang show here. Okay. Probably a good sign
All
that
right.
we should wrap it up. You can rate us
Yeah.
on iTunes, leave a review. You can also subscribe on your podcatcher of choice. That helps get our ratings up. Subscribe to the newsletter to get all the good infos about what's going on, events like Signal and such like that. Make sure that you check out our merch on our site, mograph.com/merch, if you want to see some of our shirts. I need to get on the but Money Dough shirt. I need to
But
get
Money
that But Money Dough. You can check out all of our mad gear there. Yo, I'm with it. I'm hip. There is the Mograph logo tee. There's the Paul Babb Feel the Bab 2020 shirt. All the profits from that go to Doctors Without Borders. There's a Render Things t-shirt, hoodie, and a long sleeve tee. And, of course, That Render Is Fire shirt, which you can only wear ironically.
Of course.
And we're on Facebook. We're on Twitter. We're on Instagram. We are not so much on Periscope anymore. We're on YouTube. We're on TikTok. And Mograph.com. So check us out there.
If you go on TikTok, you can see the video that I took of Dave doing his dance outside of the car as I'm driving. You know,
What?
that's not true. That's not true.
Oh,
You
I
can't.
was like, when did I do that? I had way too many beers that night.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that wraps it up. Thanks again, Penny. Hopefully
Thank
we'll
y'all.
see you soon at one of these events somewhere around
I'm
here.
gonna try to make it to Dallas, but yeah, hopefully.
Sweet.
Shit. Yeah.
Cool. All right. We're taking off. Till next time, I'm Dave.
I'm at.
I'm Penny.
Yeah, have a good one.
Later, yo.
Let's play some music.
Just save.
Yeah, seriously. Hit save on all the things. See what I can cobble together from that mess of wave files that is going to be out there. Hooey, that's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4 wave files for me.
I have one long one.